Now, Dr. Abiodun Paul is a public health expert. He joins us from our Abuja studios. We'd like to thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you so much, Millicent, for having me. Thank you.
All right, first I want to get your reaction to what one might call a strike too many. The Association of Resident Doctors National, they've begun the indefinite strike. Do you see an end to the myriads of strikes in Nigeria?
Yeah, Millicent, I agree with you. There's a need for us to really look at a sustainable strategy that can actually put an end to all this indefinite strike, happening too often. One of the first things I would like to talk about is to look at why are those promises in first place were given to these resident doctors. The federal government should also take that as a responsibility that for you to have come forward and say, okay, this is a promise you are making and you cannot fulfill. So it's a lot of issues that we need to really look at. And I think the fight, also the resident doctors, all other medical doctors, the medical team should work together. The fight should not just be a single person fight. They are asking for increase. I saw a notice of recent whereby other people are also agitating for to go for strike. I think there's a need to have a collective coming together to talk about what are the needs and what can they do to actually, address this? And looking inward, we need to also look at, as I earlier said, we need to look at how can we put an end to all this, resistant strike that's happened across the medical team, because this is actually grounding the system. But as I said, all the stakeholders need to come together in agreement, and we should also be looking at for a section of medical practices, we should be looking at bringing private people to also collaborate to strengthen this, because we cannot live the life of Nigeria in the hands of just one particular individual. But of course, the government needs to also keep to all the promises they make to resident doctors across the country. Thank you.
Paul, I wanted to quickly get your point of view, perhaps in about a minute, and this is your observation as to the pandemic report, and that is what is coming in from Nigeria as regards our daily numbers. We're opening up the sectors, the economy. Do you think that it is safe to do so?
Yeah, if I get your question correctly, opening of the economy, we cannot shut down the economy forever. As I earlier said, in part of my, coming forth to Channel TV, we need to open the economy. The school need to open, the airport need to open, everything need to, to start working. But of course, one of the major challenges that we usually have is the issue of, it's good to have a good system, putting a lot of protocols in places. But we need to really talking about the level of compliance in terms of, people coming to actually comply with what the government is about to do in terms of opening the economy. And for the school that the PDF has actually talked about, which is also very good for school to open, but we need to also try to discover that, to ensure that there is a system in place to check, and also to do a spot check on activity of some of the school, both the private and public, to see that there's a high level of compliance. So I don't know if, Millicent, I get your question
Yes,
correctly?
Yes, and right on time as well. We'd like to thank you so much, Dr. Abiodun Paul, public health expert. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Millicent, for having me. Thank you.